Hey everybody, hope you're all having a wonderful day. Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. Time for another random stream for winding down from a week of hard labor. So, yeah, anybody wants to join, here is a link in the chat. This is open forum where we get to talk about shit, vent our frustrations. It is absolutely fine. Nothing is off limits. Let's get into it. Basically, I had a freaking hard week dealing with some shit that really didn't want to have to deal with, but otherwise it's all worth it because it's helping family. Other things that I wish would end, continue, and things that I wish would continue, well, end. Believe me, I'd get into specifics, but that would cause even more unwanted drama that I really don't need any bugging up my wall right now. So, how is everybody doing? Nobody is in the chat yet, but that's fine. This is impromptu. Not really expecting a lot of turnout. But if, like I said, if you guys want to talk about anything, feel free to drop a question. If you don't want to come on, well, then there is the link if you do want to come on. I have been freaking ragged. How you doing, Cameron Ryder? Good to see you. Heard a couple of things. This Frosk G4 TV thing. Apparently, she says she's too sexy for being hit on or some shit like that. I don't know. All I know is that woman honestly looks like a slave, considering how she wears a nose ring. And if memory of learning about origins of nose rings is correct, that is indicative to slavery. So she's a slave to her own stupidity. So yeah, Frosk, whatever. I've never heard of G4, never heard of you. The reason, or don't know why you're verified on Twitter, but who the fuck cares? You're a blue check, so automatically I don't trust you very much, except for, unless you actually have a square head on your shoulders, but that doesn't seem to be the case. You are hiding behind an agent and you are saying, oh, I'm willing to have a conversation with my detractors and shit. Well, here's the thing. You're willing to do it? Tell your agent to not fucking screen your shit. I know plenty of people that would love to talk with you. Jeremy Griggs, Ryan Kennel, fucking Stephanie from Minority Home. I'm willing to bet she would actually talk with you. I'm willing to bet a lot of them would actually be willing to talk with this dumb bitch. But apparently she has to have a fucking agent, as if she is some sort of person that is important. How you doing, Stunning and Brave Megatron? For the next versus stream, you should do Videl from Dragon Ball Z from Sakura. I have that written down, Kamen Rider. I have it planned. Until I get a bunch of other suggestions, I'm not continuing the normal versus or movie streams because honestly, I cannot. I am working day in and day out every freaking Monday to Friday. Our Fridays are actually the days that I go home. Saturdays are my complete unwind. Sundays, I get right back into it in the afternoon. I'm babysitting. It's for family. It has its perks. It has its moments. It's good moments, but it also has moments that I wish could just fucking go the way of the dodo, you know? Mary Jane versus Gwen Stacy. All I know is that I heard. Oh, speaking of fucking Mary Jane, I heard that Marvel is planning on making another breakup between Mary Jane and Peter Parker. So apparently, that means they're probably going to make Mary Jane a lesbian and say that she has white privilege and she's sorry and she takes responsibility and all that shit. They're going to wokeify it. But honestly, that's their prerogative. I don't give two shits what Marvel does with their shit anymore. Right, Kitty. How you doing? I was catching some of your time-lapse video. Good stuff. You do great work, girl. But yeah, if y'all want to join, scroll up. And if not, well, there's another link to it. If you guys want to come in, gals want to come in, talk about anything. Spit me a topic, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm just basically unwinding after a long week. Helping my brother and his girlfriend in their time of need by watching their kids. Oh, thanks. First, if it's kind, I hope it does well. I hope first if it's kind, I hope it does well too, girl. I hope it does well too. But yep, now I'm just unwinding after a long freaking week. And believe me, or when you're looking after a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old and it's 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, oh, especially the circumstances which are not going to be discussed on here. Let's just say that there's a lot of complications and it's life, you know? I mean, I have had some freaking health issues that my brother and his friend mercilessly freaking trolled me on. I mean, it's all in good fun and I totally accept it, but sometimes I just it's like, I just want to be left alone on it. But they got to learn. It's like, oh my God, you're so fucking grumpy. It's like, dude, I am an antisocial person. Of course I'm going to be grumpy if there's too much stimulus. You know? This is why I'm making my own superhero comic. Tired of seeing the big two taking a big fat number or two on their own character. And you know what? I completely understand that, you know? Batman is always going to be Batman from when I knew him as a kid and when I knew him as an adult earlier in my adult life. He's always going to be the guy that beat the shit out of criminals and fucked all the hot chicks. Spider-Man is always going to be the wisecracking superhero that nailed 2 of the hottest chicks in Marvel. And for some reason, they didn't kill him because of it. You know? And apparently, Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII made it big in Italy. Congratulations, Tifa. Your Senate or the Italian Senate, you need to get your shit together. Playing a fucking Tifa porn. It's like, what? Looks like you got your hands full on a lot of things. Well, that's why I haven't been able to get a lot of videos out. I'm trying to manage time between waking up in the morning to before my brother goes to work. It's hard to find content because I'm sick and tired of discussing MCU or stuff behind the scenes of the MCU, and I'm sick of discussing shit Star Wars or this attempt at Star Wars. Is it weird I consider a completely generic Italian magical girl cartoon called Lala Rock better than quite a bit superhero comics today? No, I don't think it's weird at all. Honestly, whatever floats your boat, whatever gets your goat, go for it. Because we all know that comics today suck. We all know that there's too many blind consumers out there. I'm glad that a lot of people are waking up, but there's too many blind consumers out there. And these blind consumers are actually a problem because they're just blindly consuming without any thoughts as to what they're supporting. And I've talked to friends of mine, like the ones I had last week. My friend Marty DeMongo. It's like, Jesus, man. He's one of those general moviegoers. God bless the guy. I have no problem with my friends. He and I has been friends for 30 years. So it's like, I have no problem with that. But generic moviegoers do need to start waking their asses up. Because they are unwittingly and ignorantly contributing to the decay of our societal norms. they are trying to, or they are supporting trends that are dangerous because they are not knowing what they are supporting. Spider-Man and Batman are basically the mascots of their respective companies, the characters that are sure to make them money. Exactly, and they're fucking with them in ways that is making them lose money. Most indie books today are leagues better than current superhero books. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I know that there's a lot of indie or independent artists out there. There's Mandy, there's Jeff, there's Ethan Van Sciver, there's that Star Wars girl Anna. A bunch of them are doing their best to provide entertainment for people, and they're busting their balls, or lack thereof, to get their content out there. And that's why we need to start or support them however we can, even if it's just with views and time, or if it's monetarily. The thing is, we got to support these folks because these are the future of entertainment. Hollywood has lost the plot. They no longer care about us, and they're now starting to feel the sting of less money. You got fucking Hellboy actor, what's his name? Not David Harbour, but the other Hellboy, the original Hellboy. Can't even remember his name right now because he's such an asshole. But yeah, he's saying that, oh, it's so toxic how people review our stuff. Well, maybe if you stopped going or making stupid stuff, you wouldn't have what you consider toxic reviews, you know? I'm going to give my honest opinions, and I'm going to look at things from an objective lens without bias. And if I see that there is something wrong, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I follow the doctrine of Blade. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated topping, but there's another world beneath it, the real world. And if you want to survive, then you're going to have to learn to pull the trigger. Not necessarily meaning a gun, folks, but I do mean that you are going to have to learn to make the hard calls, to do what you have to in order to survive. Price is Right. Good to see you, man. Yeah, gotta be the change we want to see from things we love. Exactly. I'm trying to rewrite a show that I'm disappointed with. It's been hard, but I finally am working on it. That time lapse I did today was part of it. Nice. I mean, I'm thinking about getting back into my Greek story. It's a hard freaking story. It's not meant for kids at all. It's actually meant for teenagers or up there teenagers, like 18 up, because this story has sex. This story has graphic violence. This story has revenge. I tried pushing it as a novel series. I might actually look into doing it as a comic. I don't know. But I also got to get the story done. I also got to write the story out or get the story fully written out. I've been hit with a writer's block that's so dense and hard that it makes freaking porn actors on cocaine, jealous. But essentially, it's Greek myth tale. So doing my next and hopefully last PET scan to see if I'm fully cured from cancer. I hope it goes well, dude. I hope you are fully cured. I truly do, folks. Send some support and love Price is Right's way. But yeah, Spider-Man and Batman are the only ones that have a memorable rogues gallery of villains. Not necessarily. You also got the Flash. You also have other characters. I mean, the X-Men will always have a great rogues gallery of villains. You got other characters that are just out there I will always be a fan of Onslaught, the character that took Juggernaut through him halfway around the world via the Pacific route from New York City, across the Pacific Ocean, and slams into the Eiffel Tower in Europe. Superman had a lot of different villains. Damn right he did. So did the Flash. So did Green. I'm not sure about Green Lantern. But not really the comic side. Oh, I'd say Superman has lost some. The Flash, probably. Iron Man, kind of Thor. And X-Men, yeah. If you ask me, I'm actually getting back into Smallville, watching Smallville because I haven't watched first or the early seasons. So I'd actually like to catch up on that. So I watch it or watch it as often as I can. I'm also rewatching the Vampire Diaries. I'm in the 6th season of that, first season of Smallville, and trying to do videos. And I heard my buddy I heard our friend Lethal has been permanently banned from YouTube, which sucks. I'm hoping he gets his channel back because he was and is truly a great person. It's only 8 seasons of Smallville, buddy, I believe. Or it could be 10, I don't know. All I know is that they had seasons that, yeah, Teen Titans have had some great villains too. Damn straight. Pops, good to see you. Hail. So what's everybody up to? I mean, honestly, what has everybody been up to? We're going to have like a 40-degree below zero wind chill tonight. 40 degrees below zero. How are you all staying warm in this frigid winter? If you're in any area that is frigid. Also, I've been keeping entertained by this guy named Andrew something on YouTube. Does little shorts on YouTube. Timmy shorts. Like Timmy has a boo-boo. Timmy's hamster dies. Timmy defies his teacher. Timmy catches his teacher out of school. This shit is hilarious, folks. I mean, it's basically this kid is 8 years old and he's medieval, but it's a guy playing an 8-year-old kid. It's freaking hilarious and shit. Love how you can watch butt naked yoga, but anime titties are a no-no because YouTube is run by dipshits. Actually, to be 100% honest, I'm going to actually clarify the shit. The naked yoga shit has them put it or has the age restriction thing on. They are allowed to because it's age restricted. And they pointed out that it is age restricted. They have their age restrictions activated. Or Lethal, God bless the man, I love the guy, but he's not thinking when he puts that shit back on and doesn't age restrict his channel. It's like, dude, if you age restrict your channel, guess what? You will not be penalized unless you are using copyright material. Well, I got to get homework finished for this week, and I started on a presentation where I am supposed to be present a tabletop RPG 2 months early. Pretty sure professor is a woke dude, so it'll be funny. Good luck on that, Riot. Funny. How he'll react to my choice. Heart of Crown, a game where you raise an adorable princess. Well, he should give you top marks for that shit. 10 seasons of Smallville. I live in nice 67-degree Arizona. Good for you, man. You know what? I'm actually going to look. Or Voodoo. Because I just bought the complete series, I heard. Fucking. Yep, Smallville, the complete series bundle. Oh shit, yeah, it does go to 10 seasons. You are absolutely right. Thank you. Or sorry about that. But yep. Alyssa Vandervoort, man. Hot check. One who plays his sister. Hold on 1 second. I'm back. Yeah, needed to get some water. There was just a Blu-ray release set. Did you get that one? No, I got the digital because I got it for $50 when its normal price is around $600. That's on Vudu. Just go and buy their shit. Believe me, I want to get all 10 seasons, the Blu-rays and whatnot, but right now money is tight. And my birthday is coming up for Tuesday. I'm not going to be doing a stream on my birthday, but next Friday, it's going to be my birthday stream. When I get home Friday night, I will be doing my birthday stream. If anybody wants to join, awesome. But yep, tonight I got to be up at 1 o'clock. Got to put a log on the fire. It's going to be a cold one tonight, folks. Well, one actress I hate seeing in Smallville is Allison Mack for her recent crimes. Thing is, dude, I can enjoy seeing her character, Chloe. I liked her character, Chloe. Did she fuck up later in life? Yes, she did, but I could put that aside and enjoy her content that she had in the show. She turned into a sex cult after her stint in Hollywood. It's not that's her fault. She has to live with it. Now she has to do the time for it. Tom Welling went on to be more famous. He did shows like Lucifer, where he played Cain of all people. That was pretty cool. And yeah, I think that he went on to do some good stuff. Michael Rosenbaum did some good stuff. Kristen Crook went on to become Chun-Li in a bit piece of Street Fighter. And honestly, I thought that was an okay movie. I mean, when you see a bad guy literally beat a woman to a bloody pulp because he or she screwed up in a huge crime syndicate, well, then you know that is how bad guys treat people. That movie nowadays, if it was made PC and all that shit, oh my God, they'd never hear the end of it. You know? But yeah, it's freaking nuts. When I said memorable villains, I meant ones that everyone knows about, even non-comic book fans. Well, Doomsday comes to mind when it comes to Superman. Metallo, Mongol, Darkseid. Most people actually do know about Darkseid and Doomsday and Metallo. Brainiac. I'm not a fan of comics, dude. I know all these characters. How far are you in the series? But I love the Passing the Torch episode with Christopher Reeve guest star. Oh, he stars in several episodes. I'm only on season 1 right now. I'm like episode 14. Joker and Deathstroke come to mind for me. Yep, Joker and Deathstroke, man. Both serious characters that are extremely dangerous. The Joker, they got some woke ass Joker in the Batwoman. Surprised that third season is actually still going on, but you know they got to fit all their shit to try to ruin the franchise and to try to ruin their own make their own stupidity. Deathstroke will always be a badass, but eventually they're going to go after him too. But Cobra Kai, that's a great show. Can't wait till season 5. When season 5 comes out, oh, Terry Silver is going to cut loose a lot more, you know? What is even a woke Joker? One that has been racially changed for the pure reason of changing the race and changing the character. We all know that the Joker was underneath his makeup a black or a white person, with the exception of a black one in The Batman, where he had dreads and whatnot. In a perfect world, Christopher Reeve never got injured or died. He would have been perfect for the role of Jor-El in Man of Steel. I still stand by that. Well, in an ideal world, you're absolutely right. But honestly, I thought that Russell Crowe did a wonderful Jor-El. I get choked up watching Man of Steel. I get emotional triggers where you feel your tears welling up and causing your nose to feel funny. I feel all of that when hearing Russell Crowe portray his lines as Jor-El. How you doing, Junebug? Good to see you. Just doing a random stream. Next week is going to be a birthday stream. But yep, this is all, or folks, this is basically, honestly, I'm a fan of the Zack Snyder verse. And I hope they do continue it. In an ideal world, Nathan Fillion would have been cast to play Nathan Drake in a live-action Uncharted movie. Honestly, I've never even heard of Uncharted until I heard about, may have heard that it was a game before, but still. I think that Tom Holland is an overly used actor. He's a piece of shit in real life, thinking that everything needs to be woke. I mean, the reason why he's kind of trying to withdraw from the MCU is for woke reasons, so that a black person can play Spider-Man. Who the fuck cares? Peter Parker is an important character in the MCU right now. He's an important character as Spider-Man. He's the original Spider-Man. And fucking Tom Holland wants to disrespect Stan Lee's creation just so that, or just for woke reasons. Here's the thing, folks. A lot of these idiots didn't realize Stan Lee was not woke. Progressive, sure, but not woke. Uncharted is basically a video game Indiana Jones treasure hunter story. Nice. Has Holland really said that? I never heard about that. Apparently, he wants to try to get out so that, or he has said on numerous occasions that a black person should play Spider-Man. Then you have that stupid ass line that everybody says is a joke in No Way Home. Man, you should be black. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, fine, but it still sounds like he's a fucking apologist. Sounds like he's trying to apologize for being white. Now, believe me, I like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie. The second one could have gone a completely different way. That was just disturbing in many ways. But the first one was very good. I liked it. Now, I also like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, except for 3. That one I just recently saw the editor's cut. Changed cut dialogue or added scenes and whatnot. But for the most part, it's the same movie. Had a screeching Venom. Was terrible sound. But No Way Home, I thought was pretty damn good for the most part. It's just that it made no sense with the ending of how the hell did part of the symbiote of Venom get left behind. It doesn't make sense. Because here's the thing. It was still attached to Eddie, and Eddie and Venom knew who he was and got sent back to their universe. That means even if that piece of symbiote separated itself, it was still part of the knowledge that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. So it should have went back to its own dimension. It shouldn't even have been brought into the MCU's dimension, because here's the thing. There was no Peter Parker Spider-Man in the Venom universe. Now, they are also including Venom in with the Morbius universe and including Scorpion, Michael Keaton's character, in the Morbius universe. So somehow they went back to a different universe, but they're all part of the same universe. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. I didn't like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He should have played Flash Thompson. He looks too much like a jock to be nerdy Peter Parker. Hey, you got a point there. Right? Hate these white guilt idiots. if you never saw, or if you never owned a slave or treated someone differently because of their skin color, then you're not a racist and have nothing to be ashamed of. Damn straight, man. Take it from somebody who's actually been beaten because of their skin color. I actually got a beatdown because I was white. Everybody knows the story of the false accusation against me and how I was imprisoned unjustly. I mean, yeah, I was forced to take a deal, so unfortunately, that is always going to be a problem for me. But you know what? The truth is, I was put in jail for no reason, no evidence, and I suffered beatdowns, assaults, verbal abuse, verbal torture, essentially. And I was also on the receiving end of hate or racism. And here's a stat that people don't like. Most of the people in jail are black. Most of the people in jail are black. That's not me being racist. That's me pointing out a fact. For me, Andrew Garfield would have been a good Flash in the Snyderverse. Yeah, you're right. He would have. I mean, speaking of, you got the dumbass Ezra Miller. Yeah, there's a black Spider-Man genius, Tom Holland. His name is Miles Morales, but he's actually a good character. Yeah, I liked Into the Spider-Verse. I thought that Miles Morales was pretty good, actually. But speaking of Ezra Miller and his dumbass self, he decided to make a death threats to North Carolina Ku Klux Klan blah, 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 or blah, 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 chapter or something. And I got a ladybug in here that's still kicking. A few of them, actually. It's always a pleasure to look up and see a couple ladybugs still kicking throughout the winter. Man, earlier this year, I had hundreds of ladybugs in this room. I actually had to use a vacuum cleaner to get them out because they can come in through. This house is old. You know, I like the Snyderverse, honestly. I'd rather Warner Brothers pull the plug on and reboot it 10 years down the line and focus on standalone stuff. You know what? I absolutely agree. The Snyderverse, but I also think that the Snyderverse should be continued and completed. But they're using the Flash to reboot it, so it doesn't matter anymore. You're going to have Supergirl and Batwoman helming the Justice League. Or a version of it. Ladybug's a sexist. We need man bug. LOL sarcasm. Yeah, that's fine, dude. Tried to watch Into the Spider-Verse 4 times and fell asleep 4 times. Well, make sure that you're awake, get some coffee in you, and watch it. The thing that I do not like about Across the Spider-Verse that's coming up is that they're making Spider-Man 2099 a villainous character from the looks of it. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you idiots? Why are you making Spider-Man 2099 a villainous character? Apparently, but it's still just a rumor for now. Ladybug, yikes, she's a guy. Yeah, I remember that from A Bug's Life. But yeah, Ezra Miller threatening a whole chapter of Ku Klux Klan members. And not just threatening them, he's threatening to kill these bastards. Now, I have no problems calling out the Ku Klux Klan for what it is. It's a racist piece of shit organization. But, dude, you're threatening a group of racist people that have no problem causing violence. Do you not think for one moment that they won't try to track your ass down? I mean, come on, Ezra. Your star power can't protect you forever, man. Then we got the dumbass shit going on in the government, but I'm not even going to get started on that shit. One thing about New York, though, which is good news, is that if court went well today, I think, then we may not have to even wear masks anymore in the state of New York. They can't enforce any mandates anymore, and that would be awesome. Does the Triple K even exist anymore? Yes, that does. Her name's Catherine Karen Kennedy. But, joking, of course. Yep, Ezra's antics is going to get him killed. Thing is, I won't warn him. Dumbass got himself killed if he gets killed. Thing is, if you have a suit or have a death wish, I am not going to pity you. I'm not going to mourn you. I am going to simply say, well, you were stupid, weren't you? Just like that idiot that walked into freaking oncoming traffic to catch a Pikachu. If I could go to that or during the Pokemon Go days, if I could go into that person's freaking casket and go, so did you catch the Pikachu? And I'd say it for every one of those motherfuckers mourning this idiot to hear. Did you catch it? Was it a shiny? You know? I just walk around in a plague doctor mask. Oh, the apothecary mask. Nice. Because we have a 1400 way of thinking right now. Yeah. Ezra Chocobitch Miller. Oh! How are you, Rosetta?
What the heck? I spent the morning being poked, prodded, and tested by doctors in fucking IHS.
Did they kick you in the face too? What the heck happened between your eyes?
Long story short on that was a toxic bite that caused a rash along the vein where it got into it.
Ouch.
But that's been going on for a few days. I've been on bed rest a few days too, so going and being poked and prodded really wasn't fun. But I did get some good nature shots on the way back.
Nice. Riot saying hi to you.
The likelihood of the lumps being cancerous was decreased after initial testing today.
Well, that's good.
From 50 to about 7%. So it's not in the clear yet. Still have to do more testing and stuff when that specialist gets back from her surgery recovery. Oh, ornery. But
good to see ornery.
But it's a definite step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Ornery is having a conniption because I was gone all day. Can you tell?
Oh yeah, it's like, be silent, woman, and cuddle with me.
She's looking at you like, wait, I remember you.
I'm straight. How you doing, cat? Well, Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Kitty and
evil.
Evil, but also awesome.
Yeah, she's my girl. So on the way back from the appointments on the res, we went into the hills some to get basically to de-stress me from all the physical strains and emotional strains that hospitals cause me. And we had a couple hours in the park before it was getting too dark because we got back kind of late because doctors prod. But within the little time we were out there, we got some time with the bison, we got some pronghorn, we got some deer, some fawns. We even got some pictures of some magpies.
Oh, those lovely and not very tasty birds.
Those really beautiful fucking crows that screech like a banshee.
Yeah.
They're beautiful birds, but God, do they sound horrible.
Did you hear about Lethal? Oh,
yes. You didn't even notice that I was in the chat bitching a few
times? I saw it and like, oh fuck, wait, she's in the chat.
Wait a sec, she's in that. What the hell am I thinking?
But apparently you got permabanned. And it's like, fuck. So now my fucking membership to him is on pause, and it's like, I did
tell him that sending them a message saying "suck my dick" was a bad idea when he got the strike.
Oh yeah, I mean, as much as I love Lethal, he does not make good decisions in certain areas.
Yeah, sending them a message,
but sometimes you do got to use your head.
Love him to pieces. He's one of the people that we both adore a lot, and has been really good to both of us for a long time.
Oh yeah,
but that was a dumb thing to say at that time.
True, but I can also understand his frustration. I
absolutely understand it. Oh, come on, ornery. Are you being so pushy?
I mean, me, honestly, I've never had a strike, and I don't ever plan on getting a strike. I plan on playing it safe as long as I can. But the thing is, he made mistakes.
Safe doesn't always get you away with things. I literally got struck for talking about my own medical issues.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ornery, shut up.
But yeah, I'm just hoping
that court.
I'm just hoping that court went good in New York, because if it did, we do not have to wear masks anywhere anymore. It would result in a full lift. I believe.
Well,
I could go into a store and they could say, you have to wear a mask. I could say, no, I don't.
the thing
And if
about
they
it
want to kick me out,
is,
it'd be like, okay, I will easily destroy your store's reputation. We're a small town. News travels fast.
the thing about it is, for all the talk about civil liberties and stuff, how many people have intentionally tried to shut me out when I tell them, and I'm not making this up. I've even posted things that have been happening and with the fucking information from the hospitals and their numbers multiple times. Of
That's
hospitals literally telling me they'd rather I die than come in unvaxxed or without the mask, whether I can or not.
fucking. Well, I'm guessing the hospitals didn't or objected to this sort of stuff. I mean, there are certain things that they definitely don't want getting out there, especially factual stuff.
Well,
YouTube is basically anti-fax
yeah.
right now. Not
Um,
anti-vax, but anti-fax.
but I did say, and I've been staunch in the beginning of this. I am not against either side if they can or can't. I'm against mandates enforcing or hate speech against people because they disagree with you on it.
Yep.
I think it needs to be personal choices and we let people be.
Yep.
But that said, it was so refreshing. It ended up being that because I have fought and I have called and I've gone through and talked to and been insulted by and basically threatened by so many hospitals, and finally we end up back in the freaking res where half the medical shit was done to me in the first place, but they're at least willing to treat me now, so it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But I end up with my dad's doctor. Now she's a newer one to the res, and she's very much trying to clean up the IHS system. She's trying to work with it the best she can. She's trying to help all the patients there that can't get what they need because they have special medical needs and stuff. And as soon as she realized who my father was, she spent about 15 minutes of it asking me how he was doing and how his medical was. Oh, I love helping him out. He's such a sweet guy and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they were very helpful. They were very nice today for IHS. You know, the hospitals are still not very good quality. They're still not that clean. They're better than they were when I was a child because there were crackdowns where a lot of the really egregious stuff was removed under the late term of Bush when he was cleaning up certain things.
Yeah.
It's still bad, and some of it's gotten worse because some of those crackdowns he did were revoked under the next president, but it's not as bad as it was when I was a child, but it's still pretty bad, you know? But I got through it. I got out of there, and you know me, you know how I react to cleaning chemicals and stuff. So by the time I get out of a hospital going through all that stuff, oh my
You're
lungs.
pretty much feeling like shit after, yeah.
And there's like one place where you can get to a gas station and actually have power around you and get anything on the res. You're in the res, 90% of it's third world with no running water or electricity, internet, anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm in the capital of the res, and which is still pretty much a ghetto, but at least there's some power and stuff. There's at least a gas station there. And we're like, we'll get there, we'll get me a drink so I can function and get my shaking down so we can get out and get nearby. Except for the road into the gas station was blocked by a multi-car accident and cops. So I was not only exposed to all the airbags and all the chemicals from the accident, but I couldn't get drinks and stuff until we got into Nebraska 40 some minutes later.
Ouch.
It was a rough day.
Yeah.
So that's basically the sum of what I've been dealing with in a nutshell.
Well, I hope it gets better for you, Rosetta. As for stunning here, Canada, their truck convoy, I am fully in support of that.
And these people try to say that, well, they're only doing this because they're all anti-vax. Like, no, they're not. They're anti-mandate.
No,
most of the people,
freedom.
Most of the people in the protest actually have had the shots already. I know a lot of them. They have a problem with it being mandated because they have coworkers who have heart conditions or other high-risk reaction issues who don't want to be forced to do it or forced out of work.
Yep. And one of the things that I also like or heard about Evangeline Lilly, so I am going to touch on that, where she apparently went to a protest against the mandates and said some stuff that got the woke crowd after her. Oh,
Yeah.
you're an anti-vaccine right-wing nutcase. It's like, actually,
You
she's
mean
about as
like
liberal as they come. It's
my
just that
brother?
liberals are waking up.
My brother tried to
You told us.
tirade. No, he tried to tirade about her to me, my husband, my mom, and dad yesterday, and tried to defend mandates. You want to know how well that went over?
Guessing
And
not
mom
very.
and mom and mom trying to remind him, what mandates have been used for on the res, and what being given shots without a choice did to me as a child. And boy, did he back down fast. Was very outnumbered.
Oh yeah, mandates were not. Or originally, mandates were used to freaking make life more difficult for Native Americans.
There's so many
Thing is,
problems with what's been
nowadays,
done to the reses and stuff like that. It's you got to realize is that IHS has a long-standing history with documentation of it through the 90s, and cases where it's pretty obvious it's what they were doing, but we don't have proof of medically experimenting on the res and giving them experimental shots through IHS. They've done this
oh,
since
so that's how they
IHS
got
was
the
started.
mandates.
Yeah, they've done this since IHS has
Or
started. They've treated them as guinea pigs, and
that
that's
was
what.
actually totally not what I meant to say. I meant to say this, so that's how they got the human trials.
Yeah, that is actually one of the ways they get human trials, and that's been documented and proven. And unfortunately, we don't know if it was a trial they were hiding or a tainted shot or what that caused the damage to me. We just know what the damage was. And that's where the seizures and infertility and nerve damage
All the
and
other stuff.
PCOS and all that came from. It came from the res. It came from a not what it was supposed to be diphtheria shot. Whether it was tainted or something else, we don't know.
Well, wonderful thing about me. Well, actually, not so wonderful. I was forced to get the vaccine. I was not, or I did not want it at all, and I ended up getting the one that whose company is hiding the most shit. And it's like, holy crap, man! They want
You
me to
know,
get a booster. I'm like, fuck your booster, son. I ain't getting a booster.
it's the
Like,
interesting
but
thing
you'll
is
be protected more.
there is
Will I?
one. There is one. While it's still not highly effective because of the type of disease this is. It is a traditional vaccine, and it has the safest clinical trials. It's also the one that they're blackballing and trying to keep from getting pushed out. It's the one that's been trying to get approval for over a year. That's the Novavax.
Hmm.
And
Thing
it's
is,
safer than all the
this
others.
problem with most of these vaccines is that they're protecting you from one part of the virus, where if you get natural immunity, catch it and heal from it, you are then protected from multiple different sides of the virus.
That's the same thing with flu shots.
Yeah. Me, I caught
Because
the flu. I caught the fucking. Alright, but the problem is flus are ever mutating, so that's
so
why
are
you can always
colds,
get
and
it.
that's why you will always have strands of COVID. COVID's been documented back into the 70s. It's a form of SARS, which is a type of the common cold. That's fact.
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19 is a modern version of it that is a little more hardcore than some of the others. Although SARS has much worse strands, they're just not quite as contagious. It does have worse strands than this by quite a bit. But COVID is SARS. It is a cold. You don't treat it the same way you treat things like polio and pox and stuff like that.
Sorry to hear that. Stunning.
Well, this is why I believe that it has to be a personal choice. See, that part I actually CDC, World Health Organization, all these different medical panels around the world have all agreed it does not stop you from spreading the disease.
Well, here's
Therefore,
the thing. I don't trust
all
any
these
of those.
places, well, my point is they're even admitting it doesn't stop the spread. They're the ones pushing it. So if that's the case, then all these places that say, well, you've had the shot, you don't have to wear a mask. Why? If you're being consistent and accurate and following the groups you claim you support, you would not give people that leeway because of the jab. I personally think that it actually makes spreading it easier because it lowers your symptoms, it lowers the reaction to you, but you can still spread it. So you're less likely to realize you're sick and more likely to be around other people.
Yep. Yeah.
Which would explain why all these countries with the really high rates in the 90s are still having some of the worst outbreaks, like Israel.
Yep. Well, thing is, Israel actually is the one that came out with some very good information about the whole natural immunity.
Mm-hmm.
But the World Health Organization and all those other idiots are like, what? No, we can't let people get a hold of that. They'll take it the wrong way. No. How do you take something like that the wrong way?
I could
Natural
say what
immunity is
I
stronger
really
immunity.
think. I could say what I really think about World Health and CDC here, especially with my history, with
trust
what
them.
I've witnessed with IHS, but I guarantee you if I say it, your channel will get struck.
My channel won't get struck. I mean, if they want to strike my channel, I'll tell them flat out, fine, I'll take down the
Hello.
I'll take down the thing, but guess what? I'll still remember, and everybody in this chat will remember as well what has been said. And you know what? The fact that you're going to strike it down simply means you're afraid that the truth got out. I don't trust the World Health Organization. I don't trust the Center for Disease Control anymore.
World Health Organization and CDC have ties to Gates and Melinda, which both have ties to the eugenics movement and population control.
I don't trust any of them because, one, they also prove to be politically biased.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like political bias when it comes to experts. These experts need to do things from an objective standard. They cannot push a lie in order to suit an agenda. That's what's being done. And that is why I will never trust them again, even if they start supporting a right-wing agenda. I will not support that. I do not support right or left. I support my own views.
Neither do I, because I think both sides are bullshit.
They are. They're both the problem right now.
Can I say one more thing here?
One side has gone completely nuts.
I'm seeing a lot of the same kind of insanity on the other side, just the full on the other describe. And I've seen both sides celebrating people dying on the other side of the argument because it proves my point. I'm sorry, fuck you on both sides if you do that. Fuck you hard. But the other part I want to say to all those people who screamed and screamed and screamed, fuck Trump constantly for the last 4 years, but are running around morally outraged at the Let's Go Brandon, you're hypocrites. And on the flip side, to all of you out there chanting Let's Go Brandon who called fuck Trump traitorous, you're fucking hypocrites.
Yep, I agree.
And both of you can go suck a fat one.
Hey,
no, I'll do both. I've said fuck Trump and fuck Biden for years, and I'll say both again. Fuck them both.
Now, as for Kamen Rider here, I do not own a console, but I play my brothers, and I love Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I don't own consoles anymore. I mean, technically, I still have my old Segas and stuff, but don't exactly play with those much. Hey, June, been a while.
Hey, June bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get away from the political and coof talk.
I was gonna say that said, as it loads here, once it does, I still play a lot of the old turnstile RPGs on my phone here because you can download pretty good ones anymore. You know? So yeah, I've got those. a little too bright for this dark room. Yeah, I've got the As Divines are the ones I'm playing through right now, which there's 7 of them.
Yeah.
Because you can
So
download these little apps that have an entire turn-based RPG like the old style games. And you can put tons of those on one phone now. And you've got games for months.
mm-hmm. So Rosette or Junebug, what you been up to?
Not much. Working. So
Same here, man. I've been babysitting, working, and all sorts of stuff.
uh,
Believe me, I was ready to freaking quit earlier this week because
well,
subtle jabs and judgment and shit like that. It's like I ain't putting up with that shit, nor will I tolerate it any longer.
hey,
And
there's a reason.
as I do love my family and I love my brother and his kids to death, I do have standards. I'm not living earned. I've been fucking judged and other things. And you know what? I'm just getting ready to tell them, how you doing, wise guys? Good to see you. And I'm going to get ready to freaking say, I am not here to live by other people's expectations. I am here to help take care of family in your time of need. You came to me. You can at least show me a little bit of respect. I know that I may screw up here and there and other stuff. And I know that I don't act to your personal preferences when it comes to, let's say, vegetables and shit. Not really a big vegetable eater, to be 100% honest. I'll have vegetables, don't get me wrong. But if you're going to fucking tell me you're going to eat vegetables whether you like it or not, in your, or what, yeah, I'm in your house and shit, but I'm also or you asked me to be here to take care
You're
of your
still an
kids
adult.
and shit.
They don't have
Do
any
not.
business telling you what to do. Now, can I answer
Exactly.
the question in chat here? It's not that I think that it's better. It's that I can't play most video game styles. I can't play most video games because they either have light effects that bother my eyes, or they're very physical based, and one twitch, one tick, one spasm from the seizure damage, and I lose all my work, and it just doesn't function. So the things I play are logic and turn based, and while they're not better necessarily on mobile, a console is expensive, and the versions of the same games for consoles are usually more expensive than the apps, so you still get the full story. So for what I play, it's just more functional and more affordable to use the phone.
I can't complain much. I mean, I'm self-employed, so lately, like, I'm kind of in your boat. Like, I've been helping out my helping out my grandpa, being his farmhand, and luckily my grandpa's pretty cool about everything. We just make jokes to each other all the time. So,
I mean, like I said, I love my family, and I will
Mm-hmm.
do anything to help them and whatnot. But you also got to understand, I am almost 30. I will be 37 Tuesday, which I will be having a birthday stream next Friday. And anybody who wants to come in can come in.
Remind me.
I will.
Hey, just think it. I'm 38 now. Come on. You missed my birthday stream, though. 2 years in a row.
I'm sorry. I have been extreme. Look, if I could catch a stream, I would, Rosetta. But like I said, when I'm dealing with a 1 and a 3-year-old at the same time, changing diapers, this 3-year-old is a freaking hyper kid. I love him to death. He's my brother's. He's essentially my brother's clone.
Oh, I'm going to give you crap,
like
but
yeah, I remember you.
That goes with what I said in private chat. I was only stopping in to say hi real quick. We are doing a joint party tomorrow, which for my brother, my mom, and my niece's birthday, because they're all within just over a week. And mom's was technically yesterday. My niece will be turning 9. She is me if you gave me more hyperactivity and a severely less self-doubt and more autism. Yeah, that's her. She's very smart, and she's extremely hyper and extremely bounding from idea to idea and cannot contain herself. So I'm going to be spending all day with
Alrighty.
her. So I'm going to get some rest. I just had to
All
say
right.
hi and
Rest
say you're
well,
doing.
Rosetta.
Take care.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, there's just like I said, folks, I live up in the Adirondacks. We have had a cold snap of negative degrees. We're still having the negative degree cold snap. And when it gets cold up here in late January, early February, this is the coldest time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you now, you don't want to freaking do certain things like go outside and wait for 5 minutes for stuff. Yeah, I got bitched at for something like that when it came to kids, putting them on the bus and stuff. But also, I did kind of do as the mother instructed. But you know what? I should have exercised due diligence and said, hey, I am not taking these kids out in negative 20-degree weather.
No,
I'm
you shouldn't.
sorry, but they can get on the
No.
bus as soon as the bus arrives. I should have did that. I didn't, and that was my poor judgment. But you know what? I will learn from it. If I feel that the kids are put at unnecessary risk, I am going to say something.
No, yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why my dad got rid of the bus company for us as kids is because, we were having unusual weather for Kansas. We were getting snow in May one year, and it was cold, and we had an opportunity where we could just wait on the porch and we could see the bus. So we just waited
Oh,
on the
yeah.
porch. And we could even open the door up a little bit with the wood burning stove, and so we can at least get heat in there. Now, it took us a while to get to the bus because we'd had to shut the door to the porch. But we got to the bus, and the bus driver started pulling stuff to, I don't know, because she wanted to be heard, I guess, because we weren't there
Yeah.
in 20-degree below weather. And yeah. Uh, and this bus driver, honestly, like, they should have fired her because she broke so many traffic laws.
Yeah.
She multiple times she almost ran over people. I mean, she should have
Wow.
gotten fired. Like, yeah, no, but that was like 10 years. That was almost like 10 years ago. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just sometimes the bus drivers are just a little too, like, beyond picky and stuff. Like, yeah, don't have the kids sit there and wait out there in the cold. I mean, like even my dad, grew up in South Dakota when winters are cold,
Oh, yeah.
and you know he knew how it was. He had to walk to school sometimes in the cold.
Shit, I
So
walked to school because I lived right down the street from it. I lived through the freaking blizzard of 98. For those of you who don't know, the blizzard of 98 in the Adirondacks were wrapping trees that were like 5 foot and 4 feet in diameter, and they were encasing those trees in ice. Power lines were snapped like twigs. They were also encased in ice. The lines were encased in ice. Everything was encased in ice. We still went to school until the power lines went down, and then that's when school was canceled.
we had there was one time we had my entire bus group got basically we got an excused snow day because we were having an ice storm in Kansas. And
Yeah.
so our bus got stuck. And then the bus to rescue the bus got stuck. And so then they had to call, after they called in the third bus, and that bus got stuck. they
I
kind of
mean,
called the people at the bus group saying for the people on bus 6, I think it was. We were giving the kids an excused snow day.
Yeah.
After 3 buses got stuck, trying to get the kids to school.
Yeah.
But they did not even cancel school then.
Nope. Up here, like I said, I tell people like this all the time. Snow's not measured in inches up here, folks. It's measured in feet. We are outside shoveling for hours during lake effect and other stuff. We go out, as soon as we're done shoveling a driveway, that driveway is already being covered up with 2 inches.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of snow that you deal with up here, yeah. It seems that people in our Drunk 3PO was recently saying pray for Florida right now because they're about to get a cold snap and stuff. Just like Texas did last year. And yeah, I felt bad for a lot of people in Texas because a lot of them aren't not used to this stuff. It happens once every like 30 years or something. And for Florida, batten down. Here's the thing. Prepare yourselves for the eventuality, even if the eventuality is only 1 or 2 days a year, or 1 or 2 days every 5 years. Always have the preparation for a cold snap. Always be prepared. Yeah, it's survivalist stuff, but you know what? It works. Get a thermal freaking sleeping bag. I guarantee you that will keep you warm in like negative 20-degree weather.
Even, I know in Florida they won't have to use it as much, but even invest in a good wood burning stove.
That too. I have a wood stove downstairs.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, we have access now to the internet. Call people, even if they don't have good tree surfaces in Florida. Call people that call a company in the Midwest for advice. Or
call your friends who live up here.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I can tell you guys right now that if you want to heat your house good, hedge is a very good wood.
Yeah.
Or oak. You want really strong woods. But hedge is usually the best. That's going to heat your house pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
ones that will burn longer.
Mm-hmm. And invest in a good wood burning stove for your house. I mean, maybe you won't use it as much, but in case things go down and you're out of power for months, and if you have an electric stove, you're screwed. But if you have a good wood burning stove, you can cook a lot of stuff on it.
Oh yeah, you can freaking heat water on it for fucking for stuff like oatmeal, soups, and other things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as Riot says, dig out, or if you are stuck out there, dig into the snow. If it is big enough and mounded enough, dig in away from the wind. Mm-hmm. It will get you out of the wind. Make sure that if you absolutely have no choice but to use body-to-body heat, do so. Be prepared. Invest in a snowplow. These are things that even if you only get it like once or twice every couple of years or a year even, it's still better than being caught unawares and not knowing what to do.
Well, my cousin...
They have survival videos all over YouTube, folks. Mm-hmm. Look them up.
Yeah, my cousin just bought a house out in the country, and what he's been doing is he's just been saving a little extra for a month, and he buys like big bags of rice and flour, just anything, just in case, he has to be stranded at his house for.
That's survival food. Mm-hmm. That's survival food. I mean, here's the thing, folks. Yeah, there are people, or I have friends down in Texas who got stuck in a ditch because of the snow. They didn't have any preparation, and they needed money for gas, and that's when I did the Cash App thing for my friend. And thankfully, folks like Drunk 3PO and others came in to help out, and I am always going to be thankful for that. Also, there were friends of mine who also were in Texas that had to open up a fireplace. They never handled it, and there was one time, or there were other people, not those ones necessarily, but other people who were constantly whining. It's like, well, here's the thing: instead of whining, put that energy toward staying alive. Use your instincts. What are your instincts telling you? Because I guarantee you, you tap that deep, you will live.
Just like this year, our heater went out. Everybody else was complaining because I didn't know when we were going to get it. Could necessarily afford or get a new heater. So I just put on a couple flannels, a couple undershirts, lawn johns, and a hoodie. Wear 2 socks in the house. Just bundle up in the house.
Well, my brother's heater went out, or my brother's heater went out, and earlier this week, and he had to bang in. He had to call in sick, unfortunately, to get the part that was needed to fix the furnace. And he had to, or we went a couple days without heat in certain rooms. We set up blankets against the door or in the doorways to conserve the heat in certain rooms. It was so cold in the kitchen, it was at freezing temperature. It was at 32 degrees. I was seeing my breath in the kitchen. But you also know what we did? We put on long sleeves. We had thermal underwear. This stuff is all important things. We did not linger in the kitchen unless we had to. We did what we needed in order and got shit done.
And believe me, working outside, especially in tree work, you learned that the key to staying warm is not to buy the big, bulky, workman's coat. Layering is the key.
Except you got to do your layers right. If you just take willy-nilly like 4 or 5 layers, that's wrong. Going 4 or 5 layers is excessive. Do not go more than 3 layers. You go thermals, you go like long sleeve shirt, long sleeve or pants, and thermal socks, and then you wear a coat and snow pants. You do not go, okay, your second layer, then you do a third layer of sweats or sweatshirts, sweatpants over the other pants that you got on, and then you put on 2 or 3 pairs of socks. When you sweat, guess what's going to get wet first? The inner layers, then the outer layers, and then when the wind blows and you have to start shedding layers because, one, you're too hot, and then you start getting really, really cold because of the sweat that you just expelled from your body. You do not want to put on more than 3 layers, and you want to do it right, because then, even in negative 30-degree weather, which it is going to get tonight in my own house or in my own home in the Adirondacks, it is called playing it smart, knowing what to do, and not panicking. If you panic, that's when things go wrong, and that's when things continue to go wrong. End of randomly remembering.
I mean, hey,
a second.
Hey, lawn johns are always a good investment.
Yep. Especially even down in Florida. If you, in the event that you're going to have a cold snap, at least you are prepared, even if it is like only once or twice a year. You at least are protected. You know what you're getting into. Like I said, you get thermals on and you get a thermal freaking sleeping bag. I guarantee you will sleep soundly over the night or through the night.
Be smart with it, obviously, but even a good electric blanket's
And
gonna
a total.
you too.
Electric blankets can work depending on which ones there are, but also get thermal blankets.
Yeah.
Get ones that react to your body heat, but also keep the heat in.
Yes. But remember, to be smart with electric blankets, remember to turn it off. Luckily now they have safety features, I think now where like I think they
They
have
will
timers
turn
now
off
built into them.
automatically. I mean, hell, folks, when I was at my brother's and there was no heat, even thin gloves like these that are very thin, like I said, thin gloves, simply like these ones, can help you in very difficult times. They will protect you, at least they will protect your skin. They may not do well outside in negative degree weather, but even if it is 30 degrees in your house, these will help. These little flimsy gloves.
Hey, one of the things that's, obviously I don't wear it for job, doing jobs and everything, but even going out, if I'm going out and about, one thing I love to wear in this type of weather, my 12-foot long Doctor Who scarf.
1 second. Sorry, I had to get some because Kitty mentioned a flannel blanket. Well, for Christmas, I have a 3-piece here. 3-piece sheet set included flannel. This kit in Florida, when there's a cold snap, is very good to have.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, I'm going to be putting these on my bed tomorrow night. I can deal with the normal sheets I have tonight, but because of the cold snaps and stuff, I am definitely going to be putting these on my bed tomorrow night. Also, here's another thing. Shower and make sure that you are clean. You do not want your skin to be dirty and mucked in cold weather because that could also be very bad for your skin later on.
Mm-hmm. I was saying one thing I like in this weather. Obviously, I don't wear it on job sites, but like if I'm going out and about, I love to wear that my 12-foot long Doctor Who scarf. That keeps me warm, really.
Well, oh yeah, scarves are also brilliant thing, especially knitted scarves.
Yes,
knitted scarves, hand knitted scarves. Those things are a freaking godsend. Yeah, they have the porous feel to them and whatnot, and they bleed through. But if you wrap and you do it, or and you go layered, guess what?
mm-hmm.
That will really help you too.
And
you can breathe through them, but
mm-hmm.
you're also protected from the elements.
Mm-hmm.
You should rename this the survivalist stream. Well, I was doing random other topics earlier. But yeah, these are things that people need to realize. And I will tell my friends down in Florida, I'm not saying this to insult anybody. This is to help people. I will always be here if anybody who lives in these hotter states need help who have never been up here during the coldest times. Believe me, I will be here to help you guys, and for you to friggin' ask away, I will help you with whatever you freaking need. All you have to do is ask.
I mean, hey, I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, so sometimes, we just had to do what we had to do.
Are you Superman? A farm in the middle of Kansas, dude? Do you realize what you just said?
Yeah.
I'm watching Smallville.
Do you realize that's like one of the first Superman jokes you ever get if you live in Kansas? Like, you get no Superman jokes if you live in Kansas. Usually it's always Wizard of Oz jokes 100% of the time.
Well, I'd be the first one to break that freaking cycle. I'd be like, hey, you live in a farm in Kansas. Where's your spaceship? Yep.
My Kryptonian father told me not to tell anybody.
Exactly. I mean, I'm watching Smallville season 1. I'm on episode 14, and I'm like, I want us, or why can't he just fucking be honest with at least a couple of them? Say that you're really fast and point out other stuff. But come on, man. I mean, he just found out that he's semi-bulletproof. I mean, yeah, he got bruised from the bullets, but it's like, seriously, dude. Seriously.
Mm.
Now you know that you have super strength, super speed, and that you're semi-bulletproof. So plan accordingly now.
I still think Christopher Reeve, though, will always be the best Superman.
He was a great Superman. He was the Golden Age Superman. I think that Henry Cavill was also a good Man of Steel. Superman? No. A Man of Steel in a dark universe? Yes. Each Superman were Superman in their own universes, in different periods, really. I like in the Crisis of Infinite Earths, they went back to Smallville, where Lex Luthor tried to kill the Superman there with the kryptonite, and he's like, wait, what? He depowered himself, man. He gave up that life so he could have kids with Lois. Who's faster, Sonic or the Flash? Flash. But then again, Sonic, I don't know. Well, I am looking forward to Sonic 2, though.
My thing is with Henry Cavill, I think he was good. Just like what they're saying in the chat. I think some of the writing and maybe some of the direction could have been better. Like I think Zack Snyder was
10 seasons. Sorry, 10 seasons they had.
I'm not sure if Zack Snyder was the right choice to direct a Superman movie.
He directed a Superman movie that was not. He didn't direct a Superman movie, first off. He directed a Man of Steel movie. This was not a Superman movie. That is the mistake that a lot of people keep making. They think, okay, it's called Man of Steel, so it's about Superman. No, this was before he became the symbol of hope for humanity. This was before he became that hero. He was just learning the ropes. He was just learning what he is. He wasn't that beacon for humanity until Batman versus Superman. And even then, he was still, this was like year 1 for him.
Yeah.
I mean, even Batman didn't get it right the first year or two. No, he wasn't right. They called him Superman, sure. But that was very near the end of the movie. But the thing is, he was not the beacon of hope yet that Superman is known to be. He became Superman, and but I do like how Zack Snyder actually did incorporate real world controversy and discussion. How would this survive in the real world? And a lot of people give Jonathan or Kevin Costner shit for being Jonathan Kent and not dying of a heart attack. Well, here's the thing. Different universe, Jonathan Kent is fated to die in every universe that Superman exists. That is Clark Kent. He's still fated to die, whether it be a heart attack or whether it be mugging gone wrong or whether it be a fucking tornado. What matters is that Jonathan Kent dies so that it cements his teachings into Clark's moral standard.
Mm-hmm.
Can you outrun a tornado, Riot? Can you outrun a tornado, especially with a twisted ankle? And knowing, yes, your son could save you, but knowing that your child or your adopted child would be seen as a freak, and most likely at that point rejected by everyone who sees him. They will be scared. He uses logic.
Yeah. You cannot run a tornado if you have Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt with you, though.
And yes, there is in the Death of Life of Superman comic arc, yes, Ma and Pa Kent are still alive, or Pa Kent is still alive. And he actually assists his son, Clark, to returning back to life. He didn't run into the tornado. He let the tornado sweep him up. There's a difference. Yeah, that's true. Probably could. I mean, a lot of people, or in my opinion, Kevin Costner was a very powerfully done Jonathan Kent. He used logic. He used wisdom. And he knew exactly what would happen, because how did people react when Clark was exposed to humanity? The military was on fucking alert. They were locked, loaded. They freaking handcuffed him.
Yeah.
And it feels like it was pre-scripted event in a video game. Well, that is your interpretation, you know? But like I said, we'll agree to disagree. He did go into the tornado to find people. He was out of the tornado and then he went back in. No, he was in the tornado's path, I think is what you meant. The thing is, he knew that if Clark went to rescue others, he would use his powers most likely in order to do it. So that is why what he was doing was protecting his son as best as he could.
And, you know, I usually like Kevin Costner as an actor. So, like, I thought Kevin Costner was not the problem in the movie, you know, and I liked how they interpreted Jonathan Kent in that movie. I know John Schneider had a few issues, but
I mean, Diane Lane, as hot as she is, and aged up or digitally aged up, honestly, I think she was a weaker link, but she still was an important part of Clark's development. As for my day, Happy Dinosaur, it was stressful, but I loved every moment of it. Watching my niece and nephew, helping my brother out, it's all worth it. Family's important, and you help them through whatever, even if you don't always get along, you know? And believe me, my brother and I, we do not always get along. I love my brothers. Always will. But they will always, in my own observational opinion, and even if I am wrong about it, I have not seen much evidence to the contrary. My brothers will always look down on me as I am the younger. And I am, where they are successful in life with big jobs in life and whatnot, I didn't get that successful. I wasn't. I could move to try to do it. And believe me, I am working toward that. But still, it's a long way for me.
Well, don't worry. Someday Orange Hat's going to have like a million subscribers on YouTube.
Even when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm not going to monetize immediately. I'm going to keep my right to free speech without having to censor myself in order to stay monetized in each stream or video. Because the thing is, I'm a person that does swear. I say fuck, I say shit, I say piss, I say ass, I say all of it. I'm not going to, and when I have a stressful day, I'm not going to fucking hold back.
Yeah.
Yes, every time I swore right there was voluntary. But the thing is, there are other times where I am not always thinking about it and just don't care, because a lot of the crap that I go through, believe me, folks, you would swear too.
What I think, honestly, YouTube needs is, they need a rating system. Like maybe when you get monetized, you say what your channel is rated. Like, I mean, I would consider probably my channel PG-13. So when you start making a video, maybe you just set it up where, hey, what is your channel rated? You know what I'm saying?
My channel is not for kids. It's rated PG, or it's rated R. He could have let himself say, no, he couldn't have. By telling, or Clark had to learn the hard way that you cannot save everyone. You cannot just be told you cannot save everyone. That is how they do it in Smallville, where they're telling him, you can't save everyone, Clark. You can't save everyone, Clark. Clark has so far saved everyone except for allowing Chloe recently in the first season, because that's where I am right now. He was unable to save Chloe from falling out a high window at the or at Lex's mansion. Well, here's the thing. He beats himself up over it, but she tells him right then and there, I am a bit perturbed at you, Clark. Also, I'm sorry that you couldn't prevent the fire from 18 yada yada, or that you were responsible for the Dark Ages and yada yada yada, getting him to lighten up. He has to learn the hard way. Clark Kent cannot learn the easy way, because if he does, he will not feel the full weight of what he is meant to be. Anyway, we've been droning on for hour 30 minutes. I am going to actually have to start getting going soon, folks, because I got to be up at 1 o'clock, which is going to be in 11, 12, 1, 3 hours. So I'm going to have to get at least a little bit of sleep before that. So I do want to thank Rosetta, Junebug, Riot, Wise Guys, Happy Dino, Pops, Kamen Rider. Who else was in here? Jack of all casuals, Stunning and Brave Megatron. Thank you all for stopping in. Price is Right. Who else? I mean, there's just so many people, and I am thankful for each and every one of you guys. Believe me, once I am done the babysitting and whatnot, I will be on a much more steadier foundation. I will be able to get my streams planned out ahead of time. I will be getting content out a lot more often. So if you still want to support my content, just watch the playlists. I'm still above 2,000 hours, and I am very thankful to Riot Kitty, Mongo, and all of those who have helped me get that far. That I am still above 800. Thank you for getting me that far too. So yeah, once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm not going to focus on the bigger channels. I will still be a supporter of the bigger channels, but those who are under 1,000 subs will be put as first priority to be welcomed onto my channel, so that you may get your chance to rise with me, who is just only at the time reached 1,000 subs when I get there. Even so, you are still first priority or even now, you guys are first priority until I believe in we rise together, and you guys will always have first priority coming onto my channel. Sure, I will ask a couple of bigger channels to come on here and there, but that's only because they are valuable with their input, not because of their sub count. So yeah, I do want to say thank you to all you guys. Junebug, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
And it's okay, Jack of all casuals. I'm just wrapping up. And also, folks, if you are on Twitter or even Facebook, you can reach me on Facebook. Just look up Orange Hat Reviews. You'll find me. My posts are usually mostly public. So I'm still taking requests for versus streams. So yeah, if you have a suggestion, make a suggestion, and I will weigh it and see if it's ready for or actually able to be done. Anyway, folks, thank you very much. And thank you for that, Jack of all casuals. I do my best when it comes to reviews. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Yeah, as long as Twitter doesn't give me any crap. Yeah, exactly. This has been Orange Hat Reviews and guests. Have a wonderful night. And always remember, stay humble.